You're watching or listening to The Looking Forward Show on PhillyCam, WPPN LP, Philadelphia, 106.5 FM, or PhillyCam TV. You can also see us live streaming on Xfinity 66 and 966, on Bios TV 2930, on Roku, Apple TV, and Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel. And now, here's your host, Jeffrey Abramowitz.
We are here at the Looking Forward Show. It's WPPM 106.5 FM, and we're live streaming at PhillyCam Live TV. I am so grateful to be here today. We got a great show for you today. I want to bring my friend Ja King in with me. How you doing, Ja?
I'm all right.
All right. So today we are not in studio, so we got a little sign behind us, a little makeshift sign, but we are at the rescue mission of Trenton today with my friends here, and really excited about the conversation and sharing off some of the great work that they're doing with my friend Barrett Young and their whole crew. So we're excited about it. We're going to get to it in a minute. Before we get there, I kind of wrap up. Any thoughts from the last show? We had our friends Mazzy Casher on. It was kind of
I mean, they were great. I loved like reason where were they?
Yeah, Ja, you're breaking up. I know they're going to pitch in at the studio a little bit and get us online there for you, but we're super excited about having our friends from the Rescue Mission of Trenton here, and in part because, this episode is about taking it to the streets. It's really seeing what's being done in our communities to understand a little bit better about the challenges people face and how we can better serve them. What should we be doing? It's funny. I did a thing today wrote an article, but showed a clip to my staff recently, and it was a Ted Lasso clip. I don't know if you guys out there ever watched Ted Lasso. If you haven't, you got to watch Ted Lasso. Great show. But he had this one thing that he did when he was playing darts, and he quoted Walt Whitman. And there was a sign that he once saw when he was in his travels, and it said, "Be curious, not judgmental." And it stuck out in my head, and now everything I do, I'm encouraging people to be curious. Like when you see someone that's struggling, that's having some challenges, you need to be curious. You need to ask some questions. And the questions really need to be about, what can I do? How can I understand the situation a little bit better? And then how can I do something to make a difference, to make change happen? And that's really what our show's all about, where justice meets community and kind of understanding how we can make change happen. And that's why I'm really excited to be here today. Just a quick check-in. How you doing on your end? You okay?
Oh, I'm great. Everything's been smooth sailing for me. Can't complain. But literally like the name of the show, we're looking forward, and I'm looking forward to bigger and better things every day. So
I love it. Good stuff. All right. Well, hang tight. Take care of things from your end, and we're going to take a quick break, and then we're just going to get right to it because we got a lot of guests on tap today. They're going to be talking with us about the work that's being done here. So you're listening to the Looking Forward Show. You can hear us on WPPM 106.5 FM, and we're live streaming all over the place, and we'll also be podcasted. So hang tight, and we'll be right back. We are back. My friend Ja King, you're here listening to and watching the Looking Forward Show, and really excited to be here today. So I have my two friends here today, Charlie Wolf and Tyree Adams. Charlie, COO?
Yes.
Correct?
That's it. Yep.
Big name, big title. And Tyree, Director of Emergency Services.
Yes, I am.
So you got to kick us off. Just start us with the basics. I love coming here because I get energized at all you guys do, and we're gonna talk through a bunch of things because I've seen the inside of here. I know what goes on. So we're gonna start with you, Charlie. Can you tell us about the rescue mission? What are you guys all about? What do you do?
Yeah, so we do a lot, right? And to sum it up could take, an hour show, right? But like you, I'm so excited. I get paid to come here, So like I'm really excited about it, and I'm really more than excited. I think what drives my excitement is all the services that we do here, and the lives that we touch. Just from our emergency services department all the way through to our behavioral health unit, like almost the full continuum of care, like just giving people that pathway for hope and healing is what we really do here at the mission.
I love it. And you're based here in Trenton,
Right.
which is kind of cool. And you're right in the thick of things. You're like right downtown in Trenton.
Yeah.
Easy for everybody to get to. So, so we're gonna get to you. We'll get to you. So how long you been with the mission?
Actually, I just started in January, but
Nice.
I've been working with the mission at some other another agency where I worked at, where we were partners in different projects, and just knowing Barrett over the years and just really seeing the intrinsic value that it brings to the Trenton and the county of Mercer.
Yeah, and it's so you mentioned Barrett. So Barrett,
Right.
I consider him a friend. I don't use that word really lightly. So after you go to prison, your definition of friendship changes a whole bunch, right? And those people you can call and just call to grab a drink or just to chit chat. Yeah, Barrett's in that category for me, and he's just a truly good guy. It's funny. I was laughing the other day because I was with a local business person here, Mike Rosen, and Michael said to me, he says, "Yeah, just be careful when you're around Barrett. Make sure you're wearing decent shoes. He checks your shoes out first before anything else." LeBron, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Barrett's a really good guy, and him and the history of Barrett and his family here is amazing because he's just continuing the legacy from his mom and all the years she's put in developing and building this place. So, and I know he's sitting here watching it, but that's okay. I want to, Tyree, tell us a little about what you do and what you do here at the mission.
Okay, so at the mission, I'm the emergency, as you said, I'm emergency service director. So I generally run the day-to-day of the emergency services, our shelter, and other programs. So for our shelter, I run basically the 24/7 operation. Our other outdoor programs in terms of our permanent supportive housing program, our mobile unit program, our open access program. So I'm kind of the direct supervisor of all our case management as well. So I'm kind of the direct supervisor of all the programs managed in those day to day.
So I noticed that you had 2 arms there, but there's like 8 arms behind you because you got so many arms and so many. You're just doing everything around here. It's really. We're going to talk. I have so many good stories of my experiences here, so we're going to go through them all today. But I guess I want to start with this. One of the things and biggest challenges in communities across the country, not just here, is homelessness and the challenges people have trying to find stable home, a career pathway, understanding what their next life is going to be, their journey, and then other challenges like addiction support and really diving into healthcare issues and all that. So tell me a little about what are the kind of folks that find their way here, and how do they get here?
We get folks from everywhere, from people that just had an apartment and unfortunately maybe lost their job and maybe missed a few payments on rent, and then we have people who are sometimes chronically homeless, who have been homeless for many, many years. So they all come from different backgrounds, from different townships, different counties, different states. I've met people who came from California, Nevada, who came here and heard about us through many people coming down the NJ Transit. They can come from anywhere.
Wow. So it's funny, but when you think about a rescue mission or a homeless shelter, I first came here, and the last thing I would have ever expected to see in a shelter is a miniature golf course.
Right.
And you just don't see that. John, you ever seen one? Any
Wait,
place you ever
wait.
been
In a homeless shelter or just a golf course in general?
to? No, in a shelter.
No, never.
Yeah, I think so. How is it that came to be? And tell me a little bit. So first of all, you should set the stage. I want to tell. I can't paint the picture big enough because this isn't just one building. This is just a complex
Correct.
that you have here.
So tell us a little about what is on this property.
Oh, like I tell everybody, we have Carroll Street basically is Rescue Mission Street. So from the corner, from this building that we're in right now, our permanent supportive housing, which housed 15 males that are chronic that used to be chronically homeless, to our food pantry, which is open on Wednesdays, and then also our store that's open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. A Rescue Mission store. You can get clothing, shoes, and other products, and then also with our emergency shelter, which is right next to that. So, is an individual shelter for male and females, and then our inpatient behavioral health unit. And then also across the street on Ewing Street, we also have our outpatient.
Struggling because you kind of cater to everybody.
Mhm.
And I know that part of the mission is getting people back on their feet, getting them jobs, helping them find that career path, as well as getting educated.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because I called Barrett to see if we can do this remote here today, and he said, "Yeah, well, we have something going on in the main classroom, and you guys are doing a financial literacy program
Yeah.
there." And I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, because there's so many pieces of the puzzle that have to be put together.
Yeah.
And part of it is that education piece, as well as the financial aspects of things. It's really pretty crazy. So tell me a little bit. So I'm 120 days into my new gig as a CEO.
Yeah.
But tell me, how's it been going? And is there any surprises coming here? Anything that you didn't see?
The from what I couldn't see from the outside looking in, other than was the purity of the staff here and how mission focused they are on the mission's mission, for lack of better words, and just the care that goes into what we provide. Anybody who contacts the mission is treated with respect and dignity that I haven't seen in a long time. Having worked in Philadelphia and just being part of that system of care, and then seeing what we're doing here is just 1,000 times more. Just seems different, right? Different in its own way from its respect for the staff, and like just it's a lot because we do a lot, but I think for me, what I've seen is how much in the community we're viewed as like a place of hope and healing. Like whether if you need some clothes or a place to stay or something warm to eat, or you have a drug and alcohol problem or mental health, it's anything.
And
like
you're
it's-
right, you are embedded right in the community. I mean, you're in the
Exactly.
heart of Texas here. Like,
Right.
Yes.
you're in the center of everything. I'm curious a little bit about the services and support services. I know that there's a food pantry here,
Yeah.
which I got a chance to see.
Yes.
And I didn't have a chance, Barrett wouldn't let me shop there, but, I'm just curious, like, how many people are using the pantry, and has it changed since during COVID? I guess this must have been a real safe haven for some people to kind of get some support.
Yes, I know for our pantry. I know Charlie. Would you?
There's quite a few. Like I don't know an exact number. I know it flows back and forth, right?
Yeah.
So I'd probably say a couple hundred people at least, and it's not just what people think either, Jeff. It's not just like somebody who's down and out. There's also for those who are working but maybe don't make a lot of money, but have multiple family members to support. They're struggling to get food and stuff like that with some of the increased costs we've seen as a result of the pandemic and inflation, for lack of better words, I guess.
Yeah, and speaking to the services during the pandemic, because I've been when I was here when the pandemic first started. I know that basically the whole world closed down, but the rescue mission did not, and we were here every day, serving the clients the best we could and giving them the services that we do have open in the food pantry during that time, and the clothing store, and keeping all those things open.
Yeah, how important is that?
That's huge.
So
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, Jeff, go for it, bud.
So as me being the youngest person here in the room, what was it like for people who were like of 18 and younger, 18 to 25 years old? Like what was it like for them coming to you guys, especially through the pandemic, as I would say?
Well, we don't accept anybody younger than 18,
Okay.
from 18 to 25, I think for anybody in that age range coming to a shelter is just a shock, just for anybody in
Yeah.
general, but especially at that time when you're generally either, just reaching adulthood and getting to your own, staying with your parents or going to college, and instead you're in a homeless shelter. In that time range, I would say we saw a few more people than normal in terms of that age range, but we do have services to connect them to. If particularly just for that age range, that we do connect them to those services to try to get out of the shelter much faster than a regular population because of the need for them.
And I'm
Well,
pretty sure
one
you've seen like a lot of single like parents, especially like single mothers. Because I've seen, especially from the past like few years, I've seen like a lot of like homelessness in single women, especially women with children. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, and we do have another program that helps mothers that with an opioid history. We do have a
Okay.
program working with other agencies, so if we do have somebody with that, we assist them in that realm as well.
Or if they're just
Okay. Great.
without a
Yeah,
Okay.
or
home.
with that, yeah, with they're without a home too.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and I have to believe that the goal is to help people transition, to get them the supports that they need so they can move on to
Yeah.
wherever their next place is going to be. And I guess the reality is that some people take longer than others, and depending on what the challenges are, and what direction they're going to go to. Is there a time limit people can stay? Like, do you try to? What's the kind of the ground rules?
There's no time limit for anybody, so it's as long as it takes for that individual to transition into a permanent housing. As you said, it's all different time lengths just because of different circumstances. People who are employable and can work are just going to be easier because of their income range than people that might be disabled that cannot work or temporarily disabled. Or some people come here with all of their credentials while some people do not, so then you have to work to get them that as well.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mentioned this complex, so it is huge.
Right.
And I jokingly talked about the mini golf course, but you actually do have a mini golf course here.
Correct.
We
And
do.
it's up on your fifth floor, maybe?
Third.
Third floor. And it's used as part of your fundraising event that you have every year where you get to play 18 holes of mini golf. But I was amazed. I loved it. I got to hit a few holes while I was up there. It's the warehouse there is beautiful. It's just so large, and there's so much character to it because it was an old factory years ago, and there's so much potential here. So it's one of the reasons why I keep coming back. I think that Barrett is prompting to see what we could do with the other spaces that's available, maybe workforce development programs or those kinds of things. So I'm super excited about what the future holds. We are. I travel the country, and one of the big things I keep seeing is the challenge with opioids and drugs, and I know that's a big part of what the work that's being done here. And I'm curious, like, what are you seeing, and is there from the street level, what are the things that should be on our radar screen? Like, what should we
Yeah.
be doing?
So, Jeff, to tell you, right, as a person in long-term recovery, I've been putting this over for almost 24 years now.
Congrats.
Thank you. And I can tell you from the time I was out there using opioids to the present day, like the game has changed. More and more people are dying. I believe something to the tune of like 96,000 people died last year of opioid use disorder, if not more. Depends on whose numbers you read. But the big thing going on now is this drug called Trank, xylazine, which is actually it's a sedative, right, used in animals that folks are using. And the big thing now is not only just if it's mixed with fentanyl with the overdose, but also the open wounds it can leave. Looking at some organizations and reading some literature out of Philadelphia, and then what we're hearing from our own staff, like our mobile outreach staff, and we have an open access program where if everybody has a story that comes to a homeless shelter, right? So if I come in and I say like, hey, like I'm here for services, and what's going on? I have an opioid use disorder. I'm using fentanyl or Trank or whatever. That program is designed to get you on medication-assisted treatment, really within 24 hours of your first contact with us, which is unheard of. We have some community partners that provide that service from a medication point of view. we can't do it that help us meet that goal. And we're really excited about that because it gives people a quick gateway to the road to recovery. Because, listen, everybody has a story that goes into a homeless shelter, right? It's not like someone woke up one day and said, oh, I think I'll go live in a homeless shelter. You know, and even that is questionable, right? So, you know, folks come in and, you know, they have, but it's not just the fact that they're addicted to or using opioids to the point to where their bodies are relying upon it. It's the trauma, right? The experience of what's necessary to get done in order to purchase the drugs. It's, you know, the impact on the families, the wives, the husbands, significant others, children, parents, and even and the physical, not just overdose, but the open wounds and wound care that's needed for with this new trank stuff that's been around and for quite some time, but it's really starting to get some traction from leaders and stuff like that because we're seeing it, especially with Mercer County's great with giving us training and stuff like that. What's even more phenomenal is Tyree's team on the mobile unit, like giving out, like, you know, he brought some of the packages for you. I'm sure he'll go over, but one of them's a wound care kit, you know, to help deal with the consequences.
So tell me a little bit. You came with one measurement supplies. So for our audience that's on the radio, they may not be able to hear you, but what do you bring?
Okay, so I brought all the kits that our mobile unit, as Charlie spoke about, brings on the van every morning and makes once a week and gives out to the clients that request them. So first we have our hygiene kit slash norming kit. So it has an emergency blanket, has deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrush, sanitizer, lotion, and gloves.
Wow.
So we have that, and then
Great, I'm going away this weekend. I'll need this one. Okay, travel kit.
and then we have our safe sex kit. So it has condoms, lip balm, and then we also have films, films for females that as well.
So this one you can keep because I am attached to a partner. So she'd be a little upset.
Essential.
And then these two are safe kit, cotton, alcohol swabs, and then also caps to test. So we have the fentanyl test strip in here to test because, as Charlie said, so it's basically so we can get them tested. We also have condoms in them as well because certain drugs get you aroused, so we have that as well. And yeah, that's kind of it.
So
bro.
wait, go back. So I got so there actually is a way. Wow. So why wouldn't everybody that's taken use this? They don't know. They don't know.
Yeah, the availability and
Even I sitting here
I get
allegedly
it. I was
clear-minded.
kind of hypothetical, but I'm just saying.
But you're absolutely right. Like that's something that testing level.
Kids, you have Narcan.
yes, we also do give out Narcan on the van as well.
Wow, this is super crazy good. We're gonna talk more. I want to take a quick break so I can digest all of this because I want to look see these facts and see what's there. You're listening to the Looking Forward Show, and we're gonna be right back in a minute.
say one thing that we're currently doing that is a big deal is, as Charlie said, our open access program in the shelter. Getting these people that go to our mobile unit or just out in the community to come to as you said, we're near downtown, so a lot of people are around here to come just to provide that service for MAT treatment. So that's one thing I think, and that could be bigger around maybe the state where all shelters or more places like that, you can go there and provide that service to people on the street. And
Definitely, we talked about wound care a little bit. Wound
Mhm.
care is also another thing that poses a big challenge because those things don't get better usually over time, especially with people that have home insecurity and the wounds get dirty. They often don't change them regularly and that kind of thing. So seeing that you've prioritized the wound care kit is kind of pretty remarkable.
yeah, and it's really big. One thing people don't generally know is that when you are ready to go to treatment and you do have certain wounds, they won't accept you because they don't have the care to take care of those wounds. Yes, yeah, because you have to be medically cleared to go to it. So keeping the wounds and giving them out, wound care kits and giving them out on the streets for people to take care of their wounds when they're maybe not ready and still contemplating. So that one day when they are ready, we can call and send them and their wound is taken care of instead of if you have an open gash or something like that, sending them somebody to the hospital to take care of that.
So you work in a remarkable place. It's doing such good work, and the rescue mission's been a staple of Trenton for a long time. They've been here
For 100 years.
over 100
Yeah.
years. Pretty long time to be in the community. Has the community become more accepting of the fact that this is here for them and using the services that are being provided?
I think so. If I think as the world evolves, right, and things like an opioid epidemic or homeless or COVID, you become really accepting real quick when you hit a certain level of pain. And I think the one thing that is to remember that the mission has been consistently. So I would just, in a simple word, yes, it definitely has, because it's needed. It's a shame that we have to exist, but it's needed, and we are here, and we're doing it with that level of dignity and respect for the folks that come in.
So what's
That's what
crazy? Yeah, what's crazy? So Barrett, there's a lot of programs here that you run. We talked about some of the healthcare related and drug related ones, but the truth is you have some remarkable reentry and justice related programs. And I was wondering if you could tell us a little about the programming that happens here in the justice space.
Okay, yeah, so we do have reentry programs as well. So we do have actually a dedicated floor in our shelter, our fourth floor, to reentry. It's basically separated from the regular shelter, so they do have a little bit more privacy coming right out of being incarcerated. And through that program, we have a dedicated case manager to work with those clients to get and progress through and work with to get job readiness and things like that to work to get out of here as fast as possible.
So that's the New Direction program, and that you have to apply for. So
Yeah.
some, not all of the men are accepted into New Direction when
Yeah.
they're up on the floor. I get it. But New Direction, I have to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Jeff Henderson, and Barrett brought Jeff in and partnered with him to do a New Direction program, which really centers on helping people navigate what's next for them and how they get back on their feet. And it's interesting, but someone that one of my employees, actually
things like serving lunch, breakfast, or dinner for the clients. Also going through our warehouse and helping arrange hygiene kits because we give our hygiene kits once a month. It could be things such as helping in the food pantry because I know we have volunteers that help in the food pantry or the store. So we have a lot of different things. If you can't, as Charlie said, we can't give anything monetarily. Time is a big thing.
You still have clothes here? You give out clothes? You do.
Yes.
So recently, I received a phone call from someone here in Trenton whose husband was a doctor, and he left all these suits and ties after he
Uh-oh.
passed away. And we asked them, we told them to bring them over, contact you guys so you can have them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
something
okay.
like that is, right,
Yeah.
especially for like the new, like, new directions folks, like, right, or anybody who's going out for a job interview and stuff like that, so, yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for sharing what you do here. I want to get to some rock stars that are the guys that are really, making a difference
Yeah.
here. And I want to hear a little bit from them. But we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Looking Forward Show. We're on WPPM 106.5 and on Philly Cam. I'm Jeffrey Dromwood. We'll be right back in 1 minute. We are back. We're doing some logistics work here, but we're here with Donald Glover. Donald?
Yes, sir.
There you go. I love it. Andre Keith.
How you doing?
There you go. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
First time on the radio?
I've done it before.
You done? All right, all right. I just don't want you singing on me. That's all right.
All right.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Jeff.
Nice to meet you as well.
All right, man. So tell me a little bit about your journey. So how did you get to the mission?
Well, for me, I had a little downfall in my lifetime, um, drugs, and I had to make a choice. It was time to turn it around, and I heard about the rescue mission throughout my travels, so I had to make a life choice, and I said, you know what, this is the place for me.
How long you been here?
I've been here exactly 6 months today.
How's it going?
It's going outstandingly well. I'm getting a lot from the program. I'm getting a lot from the people. They're helping me in more ways than I can imagine.
I love it.
Got my life back.
Cool. So tell me a little about what's a day look like for you? Are you working now? Are you trying to look for a job?
I'm about to start working soon.
Good for you.
Yeah, typical day. We get up 6 o'clock, eat breakfast. About 8 o'clock, we go to our first morning group. That's daily living. In the morning, it's a motivational meeting. We kind of pump you up for the day, get you ready, get you revved up a little bit. And, that goes pretty good. And then after that, we have several groups during the day. And I'm in halfway now. Halfway, you get more groups than long term. Long term, you're pretty much laid back, just getting acclimated to the mission or whatever the case may be. But when you get to halfway, it starts ramping up. You're kind of busy, and you're like, oh, I wish I was in long term again.
That's cool. It's good to see you smile too.
Yeah.
It's good to see when people have some challenges and they go through and they just come over that cliff, right?
Yeah.
And then it starts to happen. Andre, I'm curious a little bit too, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you hope to be?
I hope to be working for the rescue mission, giving back.
Well, that's possible. How many guys have been residents here and now work on the fairway?
Most of our age.
Yeah, most of the people here work
Right.
here. That's good stuff.
I'm gonna be in his face.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. So one of the things that strikes me, and I guess if I had to sum up the rescue mission in one word, like what I see, like being here and after walking in the building, it's just one word. It's just dignity. It's like everybody here is treated with dignity.
what's up, busy? Whenever I see a program, they offer a lot of programs. I join it, and if you want to get something out of this, they definitely got the resources and make it available to you. So it's been busy. A lot of self work, working on myself, and working on our future. Me and Dre's in the UPenn program. So
Yeah, so I heard about this, and we run. We're gonna talk to Kelvin in a second because I've been running a program here with a small business mentorship program on Monday nights, and Kelvin's part of that. He's going to hear from him in a minute, but you guys are at a different program at Penn. What's that all about?
man, it's amazing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's through a class about recidivism, and they helping us put together a business pitch for our business ideas. Yeah.
And it has its challenges, but the challenges is well worth it. We're getting down to some real business, and we're putting those plans together, and it's deeper than you would think.
Yeah, for sure. How do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's-
Hey, if we leave out here with a business plan, it's well worth it.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
at the end of the course, we're going to pitch it to a group of investors, so it's
Oh,
possible
yeah.
to get some funding.
Like Shark Tank.
Love
Yeah.
it. I love
That
it.
was
That's
pretty.
great stuff. It's very similar to the program we're running here, and we're hoping when you get done that, then you're going to sit
Oh, yeah,
in on
Oh yeah,
definitely. We're
we'll
coming.
we'll, we'll be
We're-
joining you.
We're
Yeah.
definitely coming.
So you're welcome. You're welcome to
Thank
come
you,
in
thank you.
anytime. I'm curious. So I did 5 years in the feds
Okay.
and came home a little over 7 years ago.
Okay.
And I wish I had an alternative to incarceration.
Right.
It didn't work that way. But diversion's a big deal right now. A lot of people are talking about, diverting people into programs like this as opposed to putting them in jail. And
Is it-
it just makes good sense.
Yeah.
And I'm curious from your perspective, like when you had the opportunity, was it a no-brainer decision for you, or was something you really had to give some thought to?
Nah, at the time of my life, it was a no-brainer. Like, I wasted too much time incarcerated. I also did time in the feds, and I came home. I started a janitorial company, and was moving in the right direction. But it wasn't nothing that I got out of the feds. Like, it was of my own doing. Like, it's not enough programs. Like, as you know, being incarcerated, it's more about punishment than it is rehabilitation.
Yeah.
So,
And for me, like I was going through the county and the system a lot. I haven't been in prison, but I was going in and out of jails, and it just was not the right answer. And like you said, it's no rehabilitation. You come out being a better criminal or a worse one.
Yeah, I learned how to steal when I was in prison.
Exactly.
That's terrible.
But you know what's funny?
But I learned other lessons. No, the truth is that you learn because inside prison it's its own culture. It's everything's a hustle inside. You do what you got to survive, and depending on where you are, I was a Canaan.
oh yeah, I know about Kane. Yeah.
So you do what you can and what you have to. So it's good to see you guys. If people wanted to, like, what would you say to people that were similarly that were in your group, that people maybe had a struggle? What would you say to them to try to convince them, to kind of open the door to come here?
Give yourself a chance.
I would say simply invest in yourself. Invest your time and efforts into yourself.
Yeah,
And forgive yourself for your past and move forward.
absolutely. I asked him. I'm going to ask you the same thing. In a few years, where do you see yourself? Opening up that janitorial business again?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get back into janitorial, and I'm currently working on a CBD topical line, dealing with cosmetics and that aspect of the CBD, and with my family, with my wife, and spending time with my children, my grandchildren, growing old.
Yeah, I think people don't often realize that when you go to prison, your family goes to prison with you.
Right.
And they're the ones that suffer as well. And making up for that time is, there's not a day to waste, right?
Right.
Not a birthday that
Right.
you want to miss, and everything becomes more important. And definitely where I have a different perspective on things.
Definitely value on things, yes, so definitely.
Well, thank you guys for sharing so much
Oh, thank you for
of your
having me.
stories. And,
No
and
problem.
we wish you well going forward. I know you're in a great space, and you guys both seem like you're well on the way to hopefully that Shark Tank victory.
Hey.
You're going to call me and say, Mr. A, guess what? I'm opening it up,
Money.
baby. I'm
Hey.
opening it up.
I appreciate it.
I hope the rescue mission ready.
You got it. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We're at Looking Forward, WPPM 106.5 FM.
and I am here with a good friend, Kelvin McNeil. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing out there?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We're getting some little bit of feedback, so we're gonna get you up a little bit. How you doing?
I'm
You
good.
well?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Awesome. So why don't you tell everybody how we met?
I met you through your program that you're having here.
Yeah.
The,
Small business mentorship.
yes, the
program.
small business mentorship program that we have here at the mission.
Yeah, you were sitting there and you're like, I don't know, this is right for me, right? You had some doubts the first class.
Yes, I did. Yes, I
But you
did.
got your butt back in there, didn't you?
Yeah, I jumped right back
It
in the
was after
water.
The second one.
I jumped right
It
back in.
was. So, Small Business Mentorship Initiative is a program where we help people like yourself, and there's a pretty full class, and there's actually some women in there as well
Yes,
that are
yes.
trying to find a career path. They're trying to just launch their business and get off the ground, right?
Yep.
And so, tell me a little bit. How'd you come to the mission?
Well, I have a drinking problem. I came in on my own, and just like my friend earlier said, enough was enough. You know, I was going backwards instead of forwards, and I needed, to get back on track. So I said I live here in Trenton, and I know about the mission, and this is why I came.
There you go. So was it a challenge for you to walk in the door and ask for help?
No, not at all. Because once you get to the bottom of your rope, it shouldn't be it wasn't a problem for me to come and ask for help.
Yeah. And when you came in, what was your first reaction when you walked around? You lived in the neighborhood, so in the community. Had you ever been through the building before?
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yes. So it was still, it's still a shock when you kind of like walk in though, because you always tell yourself, well, I was told, I'm not going to be like going through nothing like this,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it's until you experience it, it's really hard. When you came here though, how long did it take you to kind of get settled in, kind of get your mind in the right space that you were gonna get some help and move forward?
Well, it didn't take me that long, actually. Couple weeks, month maybe, just to settle it all down and get cleared,
Good. So besides the course, there's a bunch of group therapy stuff here that you do. Are you getting any other treatment here?
Besides my groups, me personally, no, I'm not getting any other, but they do have like mental health groups and stuff. But we do have NA groups, and we have a didactic group that we do. So,
Cool. So the challenge with addiction issues and drugs and alcohol is that it's a lifelong battle, right?
Yes.
You'll never, every day of your life you deal with a challenge
Every day, all day.
all day. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot of getting your mind in the right spot so you can say, I'm ready. We can fight this, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I'm curious, what kind of support do you get here from the staff?
Oh, I get major support, Anytime I have an issue, I can always go to them, and they'll back me up. And so see what they can do, whatever they can do, and how they can do it. And the support system is good, and not only with the staff, but some of the my roomies and stuff, and the other clients,
Yeah, which is interesting too, because I think a lot of times that the most of the lessons come from people that I've lived with. Like some of the most valuable things I got when I was away in prison were from my sullies and people that I live with all the time that kind of helped me think through things.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
told me when I was all out of line, right?
Yep. Kind of like the birds of a feather that flock together. You get help from them
Yeah.
because they kind of know where you've been.
I know.
So.
So you're in the Small Business Mentorship Program and the SBMI program. It's here on Monday nights. And I'm curious, what do you think?
Well, for me, it's all new and wonderful because, I actually never envisioned myself like trying to be a businessman. But I was always told, to always throw your hat in the wind because you never know where it's going to end up. So I'm really excited about it. And like I said, it's new and refreshing, you know.
Yeah, really. I'm so proud that you're in the class. So a lot of people come in and they have their either business started,
Right.
or some people have it in their mind and they've got the concept down. They put some stuff on paper already, and other people like yourself are like, I just want to learn. I want to learn. He came in and said, look, I don't know what I want to do yet. I want to learn.
Yeah, that
And,
was my words.
And I admire that too. I think there's a lot to be said for that, because you're in a classroom and all you want to do is better yourself and take your time figuring it all out, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good stuff. So I asked the other guys, I'm curious from your end, like, where do you see yourself in a few years?
Well, hopefully, though my age in there, hopefully I'll be retired.
27, so it's
I wish. But 5 years from now, and I hope to see myself, if not having my own business, then being a partner with somebody, or somewhere in that level.
Yeah.
So
The challenge is for men and women as they get older in the system and trying to battle some of these challenges, whether it's drugs or alcohol or whatever it may be, criminal background, is that as you get older, the opportunities, it gets harder and harder.
yes,
right?
yes,
And it really does. Like, I remember coming out, I was a trial lawyer for 20 years, and coming out at 50 years old thinking, what the heck am I going to be doing when I get home? I can't practice law anymore, and who's going to hire me to work in a construction company or
Right.
anything like that? I do think that there's some intentionality that you need to have, and really think about, what you want with the rest of your life. You're on your second mountain. So there's a great book I always refer to by David Brooks called The Second Mountain. And he talks about how you go through life and you climb this mountain. And you get to the top of the mountain and you got a family and you got a career, and something sends you back down the mountain. And sometimes it's alcohol, sometimes it's drugs,
Right.
sometimes it's stupid foolishness, and
sometimes just life itself.
sometimes it's life. And you fall down the mountain. But his theory is all about the reality that it's not what you do on the first climb that's important. It's all about all those lessons and what you do on the second climb. Like, what are you going to do on your second mountain? And it sounds like you're well on your way to figuring that out.
Yeah, pretty much, yes.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us today. You're definitely an inspiration, and you got to keep plugging at it. And stay
No,
with it.
thank you for having me. I mean, this is another example of what the mission does for us.
Yeah.
To give us opportunities.
That's what it's all about.
Yes,
That's what it's all about.
yes.
So we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Looking Forward show, and we're going to be right back with a quick wrap-up.
You've been watching or listening to the Looking Forward Show with Jeffrey Abramowitz. You can listen to us on PhillyCam Radio at WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5 FM or PhillyCam TV. We're live streamed at Xfinity 66 and 966, Fios TV 29 and 30, Roku, Apple TV, Facebook, or check us out on our YouTube, The Looking Forward Show channel. If you need to reach The Looking Forward Show, you can reach us at lookingforwardshow@gmail.com.